Okay, so what we're looking at here is, again, sociobiology, but we're looking at male preferences, and this is the very, very famous figure from a bunch of papers, and we're not real sure where this falls in, and I want to make sure that all of this that you're seeing is up for debate. There's lots of different factors, but one of the things that they have done in lots and lots of papers is the WHR, which stands for waist to hip ratio. And so there is a magic number. So what you're looking at is a bunch of pictures, and the decision is which one do you find attractive. And obviously there are variations in people. But how you look at this figure is the ones up on the top, number one, are underweight, and then the ones in the middle are normal weight, and the ones on the bottom are overweight. Although you can still have the same waist to hip ratios. The magic WHR for males is 0.78, they say. So right around 0.8 here would be, and pretty much kind of here now. And it's funny, as if you look at weight and what's considered attractive, that might have changed over the years, and due to advertising and things like that, which we'll talk about in a second. But the idea was males were making choices what they thought for fertility, and the weight to hip ratio was maybe an indicator of that. And the Yamibato, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, from Peru, might differ, and this is just one example that I pulled out. And they looked at why the males like larger women, and when they actually talked to them, they found out because of a high level of diseases in Peru, in that tribe. A very thin woman would be somebody that probably was sick all the time, had diarrhea, not real attractive. So they preferred women a bit larger waist to hip ratio than maybe some of the other cultures. So it does vary. The idea is it is correlated with fertility. Men in Western cultures actually prefer features that are associated with developmental homeostasis, but basically, kind of, are you able to get pregnant and hold on to a kid? And it turns out narrow waist and large breasts seems to be the choice in men in Western cultures. That is a sign to them that you are able to breed. They prefer women with strong immune systems, good health, high estrogen levels, and young. So just as I gave you a list for the males, here's a list for the females: full lips, small noses, large breasts, average weight, narrow waist, large breasts, and ratio. Again, men and women are looking for slightly different things, obviously, when it comes to mate choice. All right, females with relatively high estrogen levels are found to be more attractive than others. Again, here's another computer-generated picture, and it turns out that they did this famous study with lap dancers, and what they did is they studied women who were not on birth control and those who were, and where they were in the menstrual cycle, and it found out that women who were ovulating made twice the amount of tips as those that did not. So there is a sign that some signal is being get out that they are ready for breeding. In chimpanzees, a little bit different. Males prefer older females, proven females, females that have actually given birth. Whereas in humans, that is different. In males, preferred dating partners for male teenagers were actually younger. In the species, males typically prefer to mate with youthful women. And the graph on the right is showing age gaps, and the maximum amount is those yellow. You're seeing, 10 to 15-year differences. All right, women preferences for a brief sexual encounter. I decided to put it down here after we talked about male choice too. And fertile women prefer masculine men for short-term relationships. But when they're looking for long-term, they want long-term relationships. They want somebody who's a little more feminized. And the thought process behind this is, if it's a kind of one-time deal, this is what I'm really attracted to. But if it was if it's a longer deal, you want somebody who's going to help out, somebody's going to hang around, somebody's that's going to be there to help you with the kid. So things change depending on what you want and what you think the future is. So we will stop the share and stop the recording.